Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Crush It on OnlyFans. In today's episode, we are talking about how to market yourself on Twitter to gain more paying subscribers to your OnlyFans. Welcome to the channel. My name's Denise Anders. I've been working with OnlyFans for the last 2 years. I used to work full-time corporate marketing. I set my OnlyFans up on the side, and within 1 year, I was running a multiple six-figure business. Now I am my own boss. I have more financial freedom, and I genuinely enjoy what I do, from everything from production, creative, marketing, sales. I do it all, and I'm here sharing everything that I've learned with you so that you can crush and earn more money too. Okay, so let's get into today's episode on how to market yourself on X, formerly known as Twitter. I did a previous episode on Instagram and I explained that there's just so much that goes into these platforms that each social platform absolutely needs its own episode, because there's a lot to go through today, guys. So get ready. Are you ready? Let's dig into, first of all, X. Why do we want to use X? Is it a useful platform? Absolutely, yes. It is a very, very useful platform for promoting your OnlyFans. Perhaps the most effective in terms of conversions. So I definitely recommend, if you're not already using it and you have an OnlyFans, get yourself on X now. It is a good platform for adult creators because it allows you to post a little bit more spicy stuff and be a little bit more direct versus some of the other platforms. In addition, it has lots of features and functionality that allow you to really boost your engagement through retweets and thread drops, which we're going to discuss all of that today. Okay, so the main pillars for today is setting up and maximizing your profile for success, creating a content strategy that performs, engagement tactics that boost your reach exponentially, and then finally how to monetize for your OnlyFans, and then also how to avoid burnout, because it is a beast of a platform, so that is also really important. Okay, right, let's jump inside of X, and I'm going to share my screen with you and show you a few bits for the profile section. So here we have my profile. When setting up your profile, you want to have a banner image that is impactful. Be careful with your banner image. Although on your feed you can post whatever you like, there's no nudity or anything in the header image. Bikini is okay, but again, just make sure it's not too raunchy. This is a custom one that I've made myself in Canva. Very, very easy, very, very simple. You just put the dimensions in, go ahead and create your own. And then a profile picture. Here, again, you want it to be kind of sexy, but not over pushing the line, because they don't allow nudity in the header or in the profile image, although they do on your feed. And then what we have here is an indirect link to OnlyFans. Again, some people do risk putting a direct link to OnlyFans within their header on Twitter. Personally, I prefer just to have an indirect link in the header. On my posts, from time to time, I will include a direct link for OnlyFans, and have done that for the previous 2 years, and it's been fine. So I do think you can put your direct link in your posts, but I don't recommend putting it in your header just in case. So I covered this off in the previous episode for the Instagram, but I'm going to quickly run through it again just in case you haven't watched that one. But I use a platform called semy.link, so I'm going to click on it here so you can see exactly how that looks. Obviously slightly different on the mobile version, but when somebody clicks the link, they can go direct to my OnlyFans, and that will take them there. In fact, I'm not going to jump in there because I just don't know what's going to come up on the screen. Okay, so also before we move on, just staying on the subject of the indirect link, it is very useful. You can either use like Linktree, Beacons, Link My Link, but let me just quickly jump in here. I use semy.link, and it's very, very good for me because it allows me to have multiple links within here. So I have like a couple of Twitter accounts, a couple of Instagram accounts, and I can get individual tracking links from within OnlyFans. I did cover that off in the last episode, and then you can put them into here. So you can see exactly where your traffic is coming from which of your pages. And this one is all inclusive. So you pay for one profile and you get as many links as you want. Whereas I think like Linktree and Beacons, some of those platforms, they charge for individual links. So this is my preferred one, and it gives me fantastic analytics. Again, very quickly, just jumping in here, and it can show you some, oh no, let me just jump back. Let's see analytics here. So you can see all different kinds of things in terms of where your traffics, your clicks, etc. are coming from. So if you are using any social platforms, make sure that all of your social platforms have tracking links, because otherwise you're running around doing all this hard work and you don't know what's working. And you want to be doing more of this stuff that is working. So absolutely, without a doubt, make sure that all your profile headers have links and that you can track them accurately. Coming back to my profile, I do also recommend, guys, that you subscribe to Twitter Premium if you are a creator and you are using it for your business. It's £100 for the year, which is, you know, it's not bad. It gives you the verified badge. It allows you to write longer posts. It allows you to edit your posts. It gives you priority reach. It also allows you to add, so here you have like a highlights tab, which I'm going to jump into now, but it allows for all those extra features. So I do recommend, if you are monetizing your OnlyFans, then you do invest a little bit back into paying for the premium platform. Okay, so back to the profile. Nice header, nice profile image, and then just a little bit about yourself. It doesn't need to be much. For me, I just have your favorite muscle girl, see my link here. Very to the point. Guys, go check my link. That's what we want them to do at the end of the day. And then on the page, obviously, there's my content, which we will get onto in a minute. As I just mentioned, you do have these tabs along here. So what I would recommend you do, I can't scroll down any further because this post is slightly implicit, but that post that you see there is a pinned post. So I do recommend on your profile selecting a really good photo and pinning it to the top of your profile, because then it will just get more and more engagement, more and more reach. It will get seen by more and more people. And also, if and when you start to do retweets, your pinned post will be the post that most people will retweet. We'll get onto that shortly. Anyway, so that wraps up the profile section. Okay, onto content strategy. What should you be posting on Twitter? Definitely a mixture of pictures and videos. Videos only need to be short, not very long at all, more like teaser videos. And just a variety of pictures. The big question, it's a big question, and it's not a one case fits all, and there's no right or wrong way to do it, and it's something that I know a lot of people kind of go back and forth with, but it's how much do you post on Twitter? How much do you show on Twitter? Twitter is a free platform. People from anywhere can come on, they can see it for free. So how much explicit authenticness do you post on your Twitter, guys? Personally, for myself, in the past, historically, because I was growing my Twitter and I was trying to, get likes and engagement and followers, initially I did post quite explicit content on my Twitter. I never showed everything, as in like full kitty, never on my Twitter page, but definitely topless and also trailers of corn videos. Now that my page is a little bit more established, I have started to revert back to showing a little bit less on Twitter and having a combination of safe for work content alongside some of the more explicit stuff, which I feel is a good place to be. I think every now and then it's good to show off a little bit. It gets people's attention, there's no doubt. But also you want to be saving all of the best stuff to be left behind a paywall, and you want to save some stuff so that people have an incentive to subscribe to your OnlyFans. Guys, if you give everything away on your Twitter feed and your Twitter feed ends up looking like the same as your OnlyFans feed, then it just deters people from subscribing. Or let's say they subscribe, they're on your OnlyFans, they realize, hey, this is the same as, this girl's Twitter. I'm just going to subscribe to her Twitter because, she's posting 15-second trailers there and I can get off in 15 seconds. So I'm going to save myself $9.99 a month or whatever your subscription price is. So find the balance. I'll tell you now, it's something you're going to go back and forth with. I do. I know a lot of other girls do. Some girls have a hard, solid rule. They only post safe for work. But then I've seen girls that were strictly safe for work that have, progressed along a period of time. So I think just find a nice balance. Give a little bit away. Teasers are fantastic. When you're recording your content, say you're doing a full video for a solo video or whatever, at the end of the video, take an extra 20 minutes, and this is how I do it now, take an extra 20 minutes and film some stuff specifically for Twitter where you kind of just teasing, really teasing, and make a bunch of, 7-8 second videos and then store them in your Twitter folder, and there you go, done. So that's what I like to do for my content strategy. In terms of frequency and timing, you can definitely post way more on Twitter without it being spammy than you can on Instagram and other platforms. Like Instagram, I really wouldn't recommend posting more than twice a day. Twitter, minimum once a day. But if you were to post 4 in a day, I don't think it's gonna, it's not gonna have that spammy impact. It's definitely a lot more receptive of more frequency. So, and then timing, just hit your audiences. I have an American audience, a little bit UK, and so I try and post at peak times for wherever my audience resides. And then in terms of your captions, once you start using this platform quite a lot, start following other girls that are big on OF, big in your niche, and you will see so many trends, guys. It is, sometimes I scroll through and I'm like, this is just so unbelievable, and there's so much noise on here, and it is so saturated, so you really have to fight to break through because there's so many people just going all freaking out on this platform. It is, I told you, it's a beast. And so, and you see the same, same girls over and over and over again. But you will notice trending captions, trending phrases, they come, they go, there's lots of them. And so just, keep an eye out for them if you notice them. If you see somebody posting the same caption, like a handful of times, jump on the bandwagon, try it, see how it does. Okay, so I think that kind of covers our content strategy. And then we're going to move on to the next section, which is the exciting part and one of the reasons that Twitter is so great, and that is the engagement tactics strategy. Okay, so first of all, we're going to talk about retweets. The retweets are a fantastic way to grow outside of your own audience. When you post on your own wall, you are posting to your own audience, the audience that you've built over time. Retweets allow you to reach another audience outside of your own. And what creators do to do that effectively is to join into retweet groups. And retweet groups can be found in places like if you sign up to Telegram, if you sign up to Discord, start searching around for different groups. There are hundreds of thousands of groups for, you know, Twitter promotion, Twitter groups, all that kind of stuff. So get yourself inside of a couple of Telegram groups, and then have a look for these Twitter retweet groups. You might need to request access, contact the admin, be referred by somebody else, be invited by somebody else, but persevere with it. Get yourself into some retweet groups. Another way to do it is to hire an assistant. There are plenty of assistants that specialize in retweet groups. They're not overly expensive, but they do, you know, it can be quite expensive if you're just starting out. So you can do it yourself. So you get access to these retweet groups, and basically the way that a retweet group works is everybody in that group, they have posts on their profile. Typically their pinned post that I showed you on my profile. And what happens is when you go into that group, everybody in that group will drop a tweet in the group, or mention that they've dropped a tweet in the group. And then the next person that comes into that group, they have to retweet the last person, and the next person that comes into that group, they have to retweet the next person. There's different ways that they work, but that's kind of like the general consensus of how a retweet group works. So basically everyone in that group, if you want people to retweet your stuff, you have to retweet the previous person's stuff. Be careful, guys, if you are using these groups and you're not using them properly, you're not retweeting, you're just taking and not giving, you will get kicked out and you won't be allowed back in. So if you do enter into a retweet group, definitely make sure you use it properly. Okay, another way to boost your engagement is through thread drops. And these are going off at the moment. And basically how these work are, you have these kind of like, I don't know what to call them. They're just Twitter pages that have established an audience over time. Not necessarily, I've found, within the adult industry. They might have been like a meme page, or they could have been anything. Sometimes I do wonder. But anyway, there's these pages. Basically what they do is they start a thread. So it might be like a boob thread, or an ass thread, or a flexing thread, whatever. And then what it does is it encourages or prompts creators to then comment and drop their picture. So it might be, for example, a best boob thread, and it will say, show us your best boobs. And then creators are invited to show a picture of their best boobs. And so, you know, they are quite popular, and by commenting on those threads, you are shown to an audience outside of your own, which again is the whole kind of like key here. Be careful when using threads. Only comment on threads that are an actual thread. Be careful. You don't want to comment on the individual creator's picture. So for example, if I posted a picture and then, you know, loads of other girls posted themselves in the comments of my picture, that's spam, and that's a way that you can get your account banned. And it's just also not very best practice. It's not very nice. Like, I don't want people commenting their picture on my picture. So don't do that. But if you see a thread, I'm going to show you now, and it's clearly a thread, it's encouraging, it's prompting to do and take action to comment, then absolutely do so. So let's jump into here and I'll show you what a thread looks like. So this is one I found earlier, and it's just from a kind of like middleman page, and it says you won't last 15 seconds going through this thread. So this is a trending one. If you spend any time on Twitter currently, you will see this all the time. So it is telling us comment. It's clearly a thread. It says the word thread. If it says the word thread or drop, it's a thread. And so what you want to do is get on these in quite a timely manner. If they're posted within the last hour, last 2 hours, fantastic. And once they're kind of like 24 hours old, then they're a bit of yesterday's news and you're not going to appear higher on the responses. So what I've done here is I've posted, let's see how I can scroll down to about there. So actually this one was just posted an hour ago or so by the time I replied to it. And then I've just put, let's give it a go though, I want to see how you do. So you kind of read, what does the comment say? You won't last 15 seconds going through this thread. Let's give it a go though, I want to see how you do. So you comment, and so then guys out there are also aware of these threads. And what they do is they also look out for these, or they'll see them because they're in people's audiences. And then they go through the comments and they might see your picture and they might like the look of you, and then they might subscribe to your OnlyFans. With the threads, you can be quite direct. You can refer people to your OF. Don't put the link to your OF, but you definitely can, say, go check out my OF, or have you seen my latest vid? Just be creative with how you do that. I have another one here to show you. Only open this thread behind closed doors. This one, it doesn't allow everyone to reply, but it's again a thread. So I'm just giving you some examples. Do I have another one here? Yeah, this is one. So this girl will have paid for promotion. So it says Katina K has the best body on Twitter. So she would have paid this page for a promotion. Usually underneath it has an image that says, hey, that's me. Maybe not. I just want to be careful what I'm showing on the screen. So yeah, she has the best body on Twitter. So that's not her posting that video. If that was Katina K posting and saying, hey, I've got the best body on Twitter, that's when you don't comment, because that's her post and you don't want to do that. But it's not her post. She's paid for promo. And so you could technically comment on here and say, hey, what about my body? Something like that, simple. So that's threads. They're very time consuming. Like I say, timeliness is the key. So the quicker you can get to a thread, the more exposure you're going to get from it. After they're 24 hours old, they're quite dry. So I think the best thing to do with this is set a couple of times at either end of the day or in your peak audience time zone, and go in and just scroll your home feed. When you find a thread, follow the person that posted the thread, and then soon your home feed, like mine, will just look like a whole bunch of threads, so you can scroll through. I might open Twitter at any given time of the day. I know if I scroll for like 5 minutes, I'm probably going to find 5 threads, and so I'll just comment on them and then get on with the rest of my day. Okay, so let's talk quickly about monetizing to your OnlyFans and what you can and can't do. We already talked about having your indirect link in your header. Inside of your profile and on your posts, you can include a link to your OnlyFans. I wouldn't include a link to your pinned post because a lot of groups won't retweet posts with links. So what I tend to do is when I'm posting my content, if it's a teaser video release, I might include the link to my OF. Sometimes I just write my Twitter handle because that highlights into blue, knowing that if someone clicks it, it's going to take them to the top of my page, and then my link's quite in your face at that point. And sometimes I just don't put any link at all. So I would recommend, that's what I'm doing, so it's what I'm going to recommend. I would recommend within your posts, do some with an OnlyFans link, do some without an OnlyFans link, and do some with your Twitter handle. You can also post post without a link, and then in the comments, comment in your own post and put the link in there. Say, click the link here. So just, play around with it, do different things. You know, and you can definitely use call to actions in Twitter. It's not so much something you would do in Instagram, but in Twitter it is something like, hey, come over to my OF. Twitter's fantastic sometimes if it's like a seasonal celebration. We're coming up to, you know, Valentine's Day shortly. You know, I will promote a free trial on my a free trial for Valentine's Day on my Twitter, and you know, I know it's guaranteed to get me X amount of fans because people, you know, they look out for them. So yeah, definitely do promote and do use calls to action, but as always, everything in moderation, guys. Don't be too salesy. Try and be a little bit genuine as well, which is kind of the key to everything with this kind of stuff. So that kind of wraps up everything in terms of the profile, the content. I just want to talk about also avoiding burnout with Twitter, because it is a beast of a platform and you can easily get sucked into going in and trying to find these threads all the time. Like, I know people that do that, you know, they're constantly, you know, trying to find the threads and trying to be like hot on the latest threads. It can be draining, it can be just not healthy for you, so I would recommend just setting aside a couple of times during the day. For me, I do it first thing in the morning when I wake up, and I do it about an hour before I go to bed, before I kind of like wind down for the evening. I try not to go in too much during the day because it distracts me from my other tasks. If I'm in a waiting room or I've got a spare 5 minutes, then yeah, absolutely go check it. But don't let it bog you down. Don't as long as you're doing like your main wall posts and you're getting a couple of threads in, you're getting some retweets in, you're nailing Twitter and you're getting a lot from the platform, and you'll start to see those conversions on your link tracker that you're going to have in your bio. So guys, that wraps us up for today. I hope that was useful to you. If you enjoyed it and you do find it useful and you want to learn more and you want to grow your OnlyFans, I do have an online course which has everything in great detail. Everything that I've learned over the last couple of years, everything that's allowed me to be successful on the platform. So that is available. I'll put the link in the description. I do also offer one-to-one coaching and have a select amount of spaces available. Anyway, enough of that. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If there's any other questions that you have, feel free to drop it in the comments. I will try and get back to everybody. But for now, guys, thank you very much for watching. Go crush it on OF.